The city never truly slept, and tonight was no exception. The upscale restaurant where Diana worked bustled with energy. She moved swiftly between tables, balancing plates and forced smiles. Life had been a whirlwind of challenges since she left her small town, and this job was her lifeline, even if it came with demanding customers and long hours. Amidst the noise of clinking glasses and murmured conversations, a hush seemed to fall over the room as a tall, striking man entered. Diana glanced up briefly and froze. It was him, Matthew Cole, the billionaire whose name dominated the headlines. His confident stride, the way he commanded attention without trying, made him seem larger than life. Diana tried to focus on her work, but when she approached his table to take his order, his piercing blue eyes met hers. "Good evening," he said, his voice rich and smooth. "Good evening, sir," she replied, her voice barely audible. Matthew smiled, sensing her nervousness. "Relax. It's just dinner." Throughout the evening, Diana felt his gaze follow her, though she tried to avoid looking his way. When she finally brought his bill, he handed her a business card along with a generous tip. "Call me," he said, his tone soft yet commanding. "If you're ever in need of an opportunity." Diana hesitated before taking the card. As he walked away, she couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change in ways she couldn't yet imagine. Diana stared at the card for days, her mind battling with curiosity and skepticism. Who was she to even consider reaching out to someone like Matthew Cole? Yet, as her overdue rent piled up and tuition fees loomed, desperation overshadowed her doubts. She finally dialed the number, her hands trembling. To her surprise, Matthew answered personally. "Diana," he said warmly. "I'm glad you called." He invited her to his penthouse the following evening. Nervous but hopeful, Diana found herself in the elevator of his luxury building, her palms sweaty as she smoothed her simple dress. The doors opened to reveal a breathtaking space, the city skyline stretching out beyond floor-to-ceiling windows. Matthew greeted her with a smile, his presence calming her nerves. "Come in," he said, guiding her to the plush living room. They talked for a while, Matthew asking about her dreams and struggles. Diana found herself opening up in a way she hadn't expected. There was something about his presence that felt safe, even as it was overwhelming. Finally, Matthew leaned forward, his expression serious. "Diana, I have a proposition for you. Spend the night with me, and I'll ensure you're financially secure." Diana's heart raced. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'll give you $1 million, he said simply. The air seemed to still around them. Diana stared at him, her mind a whirlwind of emotions. It was an offer that could solve every problem she faced, yet it carried a weight she wasn't sure she could bear. "Why me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Matthew reached out, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Because you're genuine. You're not like the people I'm surrounded by every day. And I'm drawn to you, Diana." His honesty caught her off guard, and for a moment, she saw vulnerability behind his confident exterior. As the city lights sparkled outside the window, Diana found herself standing close to Matthew, the air between them charged with anticipation. "You can leave if you want," he said softly, his eyes searching hers. "But if you stay, I promise to make tonight unforgettable." Something in his voice reassured her, and before she could overthink, she whispered, "I'll stay." Matthew stepped closer, cupping her face gently as he kissed her. His lips were soft yet firm, his touch electrifying. Diana felt herself melt into him, her hands instinctively clutching his shoulders for support. Their connection deepened as the kiss grew more passionate. Matthew's hands slid to her waist, pulling her closer as the world outside seemed to disappear. He led her to the couch, their breaths mingling as they explored the unspoken emotions between them. "You're incredible," he murmured against her lips, his voice husky with desire. Diana's heart raced, not just from the intensity of their physical connection but from the way Matthew made her feel desired, valued, seen. The night unfolded like a dream, filled with tender moments and whispered confessions. Matthew's touch was gentle yet intentional, his attention never wavering from her. They talked between kisses, sharing pieces of themselves they hadn't shared with anyone else. "You're more than I expected," he said as they lay side by side, his fingers tracing patterns on her arm. "So are you," Diana replied, her voice soft. Diana woke to the scent of fresh coffee and the sight of sunlight streaming through the windows. For a moment, she forgot where she was, but the events of the night before quickly came rushing back. She found Matthew in the kitchen, wearing a simple shirt and slacks, his hair slightly tousled. He turned and smiled when he saw her. "Good morning," he said, holding out a plate of freshly made pancakes. Diana couldn't help but laugh. "You cook?" Matthew chuckled. "I like to keep a few surprises up my sleeve." As they ate, the conversation flowed easily, and Diana felt a strange sense of comfort. It was as if they'd known each other far longer than a single night. When breakfast was over, Matthew handed her an envelope. "For you," he said simply. Inside was a check for $1 million. Diana's breath caught as she stared at the figure, her mind reeling. "I don't know if I can accept this," she said, her voice shaking. Matthew reached out, taking her hand. "It's not just about the money, Diana. It's about giving you the chance to pursue your dreams. You deserve that." Tears welled up in her eyes as she nodded. "Thank you," she whispered. Months turned into years, and Diana used the money to transform her life. She paid off her debts, helped her family, and pursued her dreams of becoming a lawyer. She often thought about Matthew, wondering if she'd ever see him again. Fate answered that question at a charity gala where she spotted him across the room. Their eyes met, and Matthew's face lit up with recognition. "You look stunning," he said as he approached her. Diana smiled. "And you're just as charming as I remember." They spent the evening catching up, the connection between them as strong as ever. This time, their relationship blossomed naturally, built on mutual respect and admiration. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories like this one. See you in the next video. Bye.